Hi, I'm Tremaine, and today I'm going to share with you how I transformed two pillowcases into this fabulous shirt using Simplicity 9554. All right, let's get started. So I did a video a while back on a fabric haul, and I called it my unconventional fabric haul because the haul consisted of linens and sheets, pillowcases, things of that nature. And in that video, which I will post right up here, is that it had a set of pillowcases that I thought were very uh, beautifully made. The fabric was great, and it has some very nice design details, and I wanted to use that to make a shirt. So let's just walk through steps that I took to transform those pillowcases into this amazing shirt.
And then the edges of the pillowcase have that.
So I started with the deconstruction process, meaning I had to take the pillowcases apart, which I'm sharing with you right here. I had to take my time, slow and steady wins the race. But of course, no deconstruction, at least for me, doing this for the first time, went without a little oopsie. But I was able to navigate through the oopsie. It didn't mess up the fabric, meaning the pillowcases, or the layout or anything like that. So I was able to keep moving forward with that process.
I think the hardest part of upcycling probably is taking things apart, finding that starting place. Got it started, so I'll take my time.
I finished taking the pillowcases apart. Here's a nice piece in the front. Step back so you can get a nice view of that and how it looks. So I have two of these, and then the backs or the linings that were on here, and those pieces are here. And now I'm going to lay out the pillowcase front, which will become the front of the shirt, to maximize having this centered. Again, the pattern is this Simplicity 9554. So once all of the deconstruction was completed, now I had, my bigger pattern pieces or pattern pieces or fabric pieces. And so now I had to think about how I was going to lay the pattern pieces onto the fabric to maximize the motifs that were in the pillowcases. I made the first cut. This will be the front piece. So you have to cut two. So I layered the two pillowcases together and wrong sides together, and I cut it out. Here at the bottom, the pattern calls for a curved shirt, but what I did was square it off so that way I could maintain this nice little edge at the bottom without messing with that too much. And I'm gonna flip it over, even though I didn't make my markings yet, but these are markings for the pockets. I'm not doing the pocket, so I'm not making those markings, so I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna flip it over so you can see. And there's that nice detailing. So that should be like right in the front, in the center front. It should look really nice. So I'm liking where it's going. I was nervous, but I did it. All right. Okay. So I have my main pattern pieces cut out. Here's the front, which looks pretty good. I like that, of the pillowcases, which is what I wanted. So I got this piece where I wanted. I had to get another piece of fabric, another sheet, and I got my yoke pieces here. And here's the back. Now what I wanted to show you on the back is that I had to sew two pieces together, and I created the center seam. And so to kind of hide that in the back, what I'll do is the back calls for a pleat, and I kind of started the pleat here. And I'm going to make sure that the pleat kind of goes over where that seam is at. I mean, it's okay if it shows, but you know, I just don't want it to be, if I did the pleat the other way, I'll flip it over. Then of course that would be more noticeable. So this is the back pattern piece, and the back pattern piece is supposed to be done on the fold. And I had to join two pieces of the pillowcase to make a fold piece. So I sewed two pieces of the pillowcase, the backs, together, and I did serge it to make it a nice and neat on the inside, and to create that one piece so I can lay my pattern piece as on a fold. So I was able to do that. Just laying it out. So here, when you lay it out here, I was able to take that piece and lay it, you know, to create the fold so it is a single piece. Now, what I did was when I created the pleat that goes in the back, I made sure that the pleat was to the outside, and so that it kind of, you know, covers that seam up. Not, it's not bad. I'm not, you know, it's nothing wrong with that, but just to kind of give it that, you know, to hide it a little bit, even though the shirt is full, so you will definitely eventually see it. But I just wanted it to be as enclosed as possible, as to be as opposed to being uh, visible all the time. And yeah, I think that came out pretty good. But, yeah, I was even able to keep a piece, some of that nice detailing at the bottom. We'll see if I'll be able to maintain that as we go along in the process. I know you're enjoying the content and the shenanigans that's going on in Tremaine's sewing space. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to make sure that you do not miss the next shenanigan that's going to happen in Tremaine's sewing room. So the pattern does call for interfacing on your placket, you know, where you would sew. It would have some extra body when you sew the buttons on, as well as in the collar, to give it, you know, some sturdiness so it can sit up. Now, at first I was thinking I was not going to use interfacing, but I decided to test some interfacings that I had at home to see what would work well with this fabric and for this project. So I'm not sure if I want to use interfacing on this project because the fabric is so light. And yeah, so I'm going to test a scrap. So here's some interfacing. I'm going to use my press cloth because I don't want to ruin my iron. So I'm going to place my interfacing on the fabric piece, and let's press it. Applying heat. Now, obviously, if I do this for the fabric piece, I will go a little longer and make sure that it adheres correctly. So put it on. I'm looking at it. So far, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. You want the interfacing, you know, because it's going to give it that stability on the collar. So I think I may go ahead and interface that piece. Can you tell which one is the interfaced piece? I can't. Not interfaced. This is interfaced. I think I like that. It gives it a little bit more body. So I'm glad I tested it out. And actually, you can it still has some of that opacity. Yeah, very light, because you can still see through it. So it should be really good when they are both together. Plus, give the collar some stability. So, your choice. So I'm making progress on my pillowcase Upcycle. Just to remember, I'm doing Simplicity 9554 out of a pillowcase that I received during that I talked about in a unconventional fabric haul that I uh, shared with you right on this video here. So I'm on the collar, and I'm gonna just turn it over this way. I cut the collar out, I'd added the interfacing and sewed the collar and realized, oh, I wanted to use some of that nice trim from the edges of the pillowcase. And so I went about piecing some of the bigger pieces together so that I can at least have that detail on the collar. I'm still working it out, but I have something in mind. I think it'll work, and I will update you on that progress. So I'm ready for, oops. A little stand. Let's go down. All right, so I'm ready to do a fit check, and so I basted the shirt together, and I am testing out the placement of the trim onto the shirt. All right, the front of the blouse, well, the blouse is attached. I have to do a fit check, and I'm thinking I'm going to do add that trim from the edges of the pillowcase, maybe to the sleeve. So I'm trying to figure that out here, how I can attach it and then turn it back so that this edge will be on the sleeve. Still working it out, but it's looking pretty good. Tons of progress. I am so excited about how this is turning out. I have the collar on with the detail on the collar. The detail from the pillowcase is on my front, so you can see it here and on this one. And now I am ready to do the buttons. So what I started with, I did a fit check, and I put a pin where the fullest part of my breast is at, so that I can make sure I have a button there, because there's nothing worse than having a gap in your bra showing. So I'm going to start there. I pulled out this tool. It's called a Simplex. It's an expandable sewing gauge. And starting there, I will mark my buttonholes, and this will allow me to make sure that my buttonholes are at least at equal distances apart. So again, starting there, I will put one up here at the neck, and then so if I put one at the neck, I need to go kind of like, I'll shift it to something like that. And based on, I have to remember how many buttons I got. And then I will go to the machine, do my buttonholes, and sew my buttons on, and I'll have a shirt. I cannot tell you how excited I am with how this project turned out. I cannot believe I turned 2 pillowcases into this fabulous shirt. Being able to even maintain the detail of the shirt, of the pillowcases, and add it to the shirt, it just blows my mind, because this is not normally what I would do. So I'm very excited about that. Let me know in the comments, do you have experience with upcycling or recycling old garments? So this project started out with a fabric haul that I received from a dear friend whose mom had transitioned. She had some lovely linens that I was able to use, and I'm so excited that Every time I wear this shirt, I will be thinking about Miss Ernestine. Thank you, Maddie. Be sure to like the video, share your comments on your upcycling or recycling experience, and subscribe to the channel because you do not want to miss the next sewing shenanigans happening in Tremaine's Sewing Room. Have a great day and happy sewing.